My first question for today was someone had wrote in and asked if they noticed that whenever they would have an orgasm that they would tense up their leg muscles and just they would have to clench and straighten their leg muscles. And they were saying, they were wondering if that was weird because that was the only way that they could really have an orgasm. And they were wondering what was causing that, or how that works. And so I just want to share my understanding of this based with anatomy and physiology, because I am also a registered nurse in addition to being a certified Tantra educator. What happens is when you clench, all your muscles are kind of work together, and when you clench your leg muscles like that, and it's very common, a lot of people do experience orgasms this way. When you clench the muscles up, it also tightens your gluteal muscles, which are connected with your pelvic floor muscles, and then that creates extra tension, and then that can trigger like your orgasm. Another thing I did share, I have Twitter, and my Twitter is also Yes Tantra, and I posted there a video that I found that's really interesting that explains neuroplasticity. And what happens is when we experience pleasure, we create these same brain, neural pathways to how we experience pleasure. And then as we keep, like whenever we self-pleasure anything, sometimes we get into the same routine, and those neural pathways get built stronger and stronger. And so this video demonstrates how neural pathways work, and it's a really good demonstration, and how you can change the grooves within your brain, and you can create other pathways and strengthen other pathways as well. Now, as I'm recording the Instagram Live, my dog is over here playing with her ball, which, I don't have a problem with playing with balls, but it's really distracting when I'm trying to do this live story, so I'm going to have to take the ball away from her. Okay. Anyway, she just has to join in. So what that does is that helps to explain the neural pathway, and then what you can do be just mindful whenever you're trying to experience pleasure in your body. If you don't always do the same routine and you change things up a little bit and change how you experience pleasure, then you will be able to create some more neural pathways for yourself as well. And, that will just enhance and increase your pleasure. And another big factor, a benefit of increasing our pathways is the fact that then when we're with our lover, they may pleasure us and may do things with us that are different than that groove that we've already laid deep in place for ourselves. And so then they don't know how to touch us like we know how to touch ourselves. So if we limit ourselves to experiencing pleasure only in one way, then we also limit ourselves when we're with our partners. So one of my recommendations with my clients is that, sometimes you try and experiment and just take a different route. Because, having an orgasm and having pleasure is a journey. It's not a quick trip. And sometimes you take the scenic route and you explore different areas of your body and tap into that. And then that's going to enhance how you're able to experience pleasure when you're with someone else as well. And so, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. And there's a default setting I have. If I'm really stressed out, I know what will work for me. And that's great to have that. But it's also, don't limit yourself as to the pleasure you can experience in your body. Just enjoy it. Our bodies are created. We have billions of nerve endings. We have all these nerve cells that are made. Our bodies are designed to experience great pleasure and sensation. So enjoy it and see what really works for you. Take some time for yourself. That is also really key, and like self-love and self-pleasure practices are really important. And even whenever you're doing pleasure, just even saying things to yourself the way you would want a lover to talk to you, and giving your body affirmations, and can be really powerful for you, because pleasure can be your medicine. And I invite you to explore some different ways of feeling pleasure within your body and sensations. Then my next question was someone was just saying that she could no longer experience orgasm, which I can imagine that's very frustrating. And she thought something was wrong with her. Well, I know for myself, when I was first sexually active, my first partner who I had my oldest daughter with, he was the only man I was with for 4 years, and I had a baby, but I never even had an orgasm. And for me, at that point, I thought, oh, I must be frigid. It must be me. and I'm not. But I just did not know how to experience that pleasure within my body. And so, I just encourage everyone, don't think that there's something wrong with you. There's just, sometimes we have to be patient with our bodies and take the time and tap into that pleasure and discover maybe other blocks that we have to pleasure. Maybe a partner that we had made us feel shame about a certain way, or maybe we've had a trauma, and then our bodies kind of tense up and are afraid and don't trust to feel pleasure. So, just be mindful of that and don't think that anything is wrong. And that's why I like to explore with people and help my clients and talk to them and tell them different ways and techniques so that you can do different things, and breathing practices and touch sensation. Conscious touch is one of the main tenets of Tantra. And with conscious touch, you're able to explore parts of your body and experience more pleasure. So you could create another neural pathway and change those habits where it might have been a self-protective mechanism, and you can kind of change that and allow your body to feel safe, to feel pleasure again, and never feel like there's anything wrong with you. It's just sometimes our bodies will do certain things, or we have stress, which is another reason I highly recommend meditation for people, because meditation practices can help you kind of stay centered so you don't get so distracted when you're having sex, because we have a lot of things going on in the day. Our society, we're overwhelmed with things. With social media is great as a tool, but we just get bombarded with emails and text messages and work, and our brains, at the end of the day, it's really hard to slow down and to tap in and really have that connection with ourselves or with our partners. So Tantra just has great tools to help to strengthen connection with the people in your lives, and it also has great tools, and it's a really great solo practice. I know a lot of people think that Tantra is just something you can only do with a partner. And I felt the same way too at first. That's what I thought. That's what delayed me into my journey. I just put my book on my shelf and was like, oh, okay, when I meet someone who wants to take this adventure with me, then I'm going to proceed. But you can start this on your own, and then once you are with someone, you'll have already strengthened your practices, and it will be easier to guide them into this with you, and you both will have a deeper connection and more pleasure together. I'd really open, I would love to hear, put comments below in here. If you would like to share something like a question that you may have, that I could get back to you guys next week. And I will be having the Tantra Tuesday every week on Tuesdays. Yes, Tantra Tuesday. And next week I may be having it earlier in the day. I'm not quite sure how my schedule is, but I will, when I put my post for Tuesday, I will make a comment there and let you guys know. And I'm so happy that you guys are here for real. I'm going to share also some testimonials I've been getting from my daily dozen. I want to thank all of you that have written into me and shared your great feedback that has happened with that. It just excites me so much. That's why I do this work. And I'm just so happy to be a part of your journey. And just seeing you guys dive in deeper into loving yourselves and having more pleasure in your lives, that's just a turn on for me. It makes me really excited. And so again, I just want to thank you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. And just check out on Twitter, my Twitter is Yes Tantra. I would encourage you to look at that video that I posted about the neuroplasticity. It's just like an animated video, and they really simplify it, and it may give you kind of an aha moment as to what you're experiencing, because we are multi-orgasmic creatures, and there's all different levels of pleasure and sensation we can have. Okay, let me answer this question. How to deepen connection with a partner during sex? I usually find it easy to lose pleasure and arousal. To deepen, eye gazing is one way, but a lot of times in society, the way that we have been intimate or, have experienced sex, a lot of times we close our eyes. But if you can really gaze into your partner's eyes and be more present, that really can deepen the connection. It is kind of scary, so, that's why it's good to choose partners that you feel safe with and you're okay with being vulnerable with, because then you can experience, more ecstatic bliss with them, because you feel safe to be that vulnerable and open your heart, and that connection is a definite turn on. Getting to that point, though, there's a few steps to it. It's not so easy, because even if you're willing to open your eyes, the person that you're with may be afraid of that. So we get so in our egos, and I'm guilty of it too, and then we can be in fear. We fear being rejected, or we think we have to look or act a certain way during sex, and just all these conditioning we've had about sex. Because when you think about it, what have we ever really been taught about sex? Like, our sex education was mainly, abstinence, don't get pregnant, don't get an STD, wait till you're married, and then you just find what you find on porn if you want to explore any further. And we've never really been taught how to have pleasure in our body, and sometimes we also have to get over those things of conditioned shame from society, or where we've repressed stuff with our sexuality. And then for men also, with the neural pathways, whenever you're younger and you start to self-pleasure, when you're younger, you get into these habits and you want to do it very quickly before your parents catch you. So then that also trains you to ejaculate more quickly. So ejaculation control is also about changing those pathways. The best way to be introduced to Tantra techniques. I just developed a self-love course because it talks about self-pleasure, and it goes over breathing techniques and some other like conscious touch and self-pleasure techniques. And also, it's just like an introductory into Tantra. And I think that that's a great starter, and that's why I created that, because it's not going to be really great for me to teach people to be great lovers to someone else if I haven't taken the time to show you how to be a great lover to yourself. Because you won't be prepared for the kind of dynamic relationship you can have once you embrace the Tantra techniques and start to do those things. Let me see if there's any other questions here. I really appreciate all of you being here today. I appreciate your time. I know everyone, we all have busy schedules, and I really value that you guys are here with me. Let's see if there's any other questions before I sign off. Thanks, everyone. Hi to everyone. I just posted a video too on my YouTube, and I'm going to share it later about the 4 health benefits of orgasms. Orgasms are very healthy for your body. I'm a nurse, and I see a lot of people that have a lot of tension and illness in their body, and they're very stressed out, and a lot of them, they're just not experiencing any pleasure in their body. It's very evident when I see them. They're just tight and constricted. Thank you so much, Auntie, for the gratitude. I appreciate it. So quick story. I had a patient recently that he was just really freaking out, and they actually had to get a psych consult on him because, we were like, is this guy does he have like a weapon in his bag? He was so hostile, and we had to have the psych department come and see him. Is he like a threat to everyone around him? And so then finally he was just telling me, when I had to help him with some things, he was just like, he was just saying, I just feel like I am myself again. I'm getting back to myself because everyone is just a horrible person, and I'm just getting back to my senses now, and the real me is coming out. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay. And so he was like, just people are incompetent. He was just such a miserable soul. So I kept telling him that his girlfriend had been checking on him. And I was like, oh, your girlfriend. He's like in his 70s. I was like, oh, your girlfriend. And I had to stand him up and help him with something. Actually, it's so funny because I had to help him with his urinal. So he's standing up there, and all of a sudden he looks at me, and he was like, she's not really my girlfriend because she's just more like a living partner. Because if she was my girlfriend, she would be having sex with me, and we don't even have sex. And I mean, I have a mask on, and I look very I'm super nerdy at work, but it was cracking me up. And I just put my hand on his shoulder, and I was like, oh no, I understand. But I could totally see that in him. Like, he had such pent-up frustration because he just did not have any pleasure in his life. He was such a miserable soul. And I was like, man, I already called that from like a mile away. But it was just really funny to me when he voiced that. And then he has the illness and disease in his body from all that tension and repressing stuff, and he's just so angry, and that does impact you. Okay, so thanks so much. I would love for you to join on my site. Now, I am going to post this video. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to share this video. I've been posting my Instagram live videos on my YouTube channel. I do have my settings as 18 plus just because some of the comments, the content is a little racy, more adult content, even though I do feel like, teenagers and younger people, they should be educated in better ways and healthier ways because they're able to look at porn, and that's what they're going to think is how to do everything. They should get a better education, but I don't want to offend anyone. So it's on 18 plus settings so that you can find it, and I will be sharing. I'll post that up on my YouTube tonight, and in my Instagram bio, if you look under Linktree, I have some links there, and it will show the other Instagram live video that I had that was called Orgasms, and it will also direct you to my website if you want to ask me a question. I believe it goes to my Twitter, and also if you want to work with me, or if you want to see my blog. My website has a blog, and it covers a lot of topics about masculine and feminine energy, sexual energy, meditation, orgasms. I put a lot of information on there because I'm limited on social media as to what I can share, and I'm not limited on my website. So definitely sign up. I am going to be launching some more courses. I'm going to be doing male ejaculation control so that men can be multi-orgasmic, which is awesome. And I'm going to be having a jade egg course soon, and I'm working on those now. So if you sign up for my newsletter, then you will know when those are released, and you will also know when I'm doing an event near you, because I'm going to be in the near future as I travel. I'm going to be doing events through, in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. when I travel, and have different workshops. And so you can just stay up to date and see if I might be in an area near you, because I'd love to meet you. And I might have something local, like even just something little like through Eventbrite. And so I'm really looking forward to, connecting more with all of you. And the Linktree just has different ways where you can find more information, because I have a ton of information to share, and I just want to have it in an organized manner so that you can find it. So my Instagram, my YouTube channel, I need to rename that. It's under my Dominique DeVita name, and I was like a dog chasing my tail today, trying to go through YouTube and get my settings and get them to change my URL. Oh my gosh, I was so frustrated. So I'm going to work on that, but there is a link on my Linktree under my Instagram profile that will take you to one of my videos on my YouTube channel, and then you can just click on, who posted the video, which is me, and then you can see my other videos. Yes, my teaching, yes, Rose, does help with low libido. It does help with low libido. I do a lot of things with because your sexual energy is your most creative energy. It's your life force energy. And so I do practices that help you to build that energy within your body, and breathing practice to help circulate that energy through your body. And also with my Jade Egg program, it also helps to increase your libido and your sex drive. And I'm also going to be featuring soon on my blog aphrodisiacs and foods that enhance your sex drive as well and increase your libido. Oh, first time I'm seeing you live and hearing you. Oh, hey, Big C. That's so awesome. It's so nice to see you here. Oh, that's so sweet. I've just met the best people and have the best people that have followed me through, because initially I was a model, and I love art. So I went from modeling and art and expressing myself artistically that way, and then discovering the art of sex, because that's what Tantra is. The principal role of a man with Tantra. My thoughts about a man with Tantra. Men, I'd have a post here, and I'm going to be posting it in my blog. It's in my Instagram, and it's titled, another woman wrote it, but I love it, and it's called Conscious Cock. And men and masculine energy can be very healing for the planet, and masculine energy, whether you're male or female, we all, everyone has a combination of feminine and masculine energy, regardless of your gender. But when a man can be fully present for a woman and take the time and not, be quick to finish, because women take such a longer time to reach to their peaks of pleasure, and they can be so, multi-orgasmic. And if a man is able to be fully present, and the woman is able to trust and feel very vulnerable with him, or, with her, when you're able to feel vulnerable with your partner and you have that deep connection, you can go to some amazing levels of ecstatic bliss. And really, it's very enlightening. It can be actually life-changing, because Marvin Gaye wasn't kidding around about sexual healing. And when a male can be really present with the female and really, make her feel safe and respected, and her needs be met, and it not just be about the guy's ego. Because, what we see in porn is men are just doing this, routine that they think is good, and they're not connecting, and you get so much into the acrobatics of the sex act. And I used to do the same thing, and still sometimes I do it for fun, no judgment. But you just get in this loop of like performance, and you're so busy performing, and you're coming from a place of ego that you're not really fully present with your partner, and you're not able to have that deep connection. And when you feel fully seen and you can actually have sex or give your partner's soul an orgasm, like on a deep level, that is transformative. That is a game changer. So if more men were able to do this and realize, because it's not anyone's fault, like our society doesn't teach men their full potential, because men have a great potential to experience a lot more. And even as a male, you end up, when you just masturbate all the time mindlessly and you ejaculate a lot, you lose your chi, your vital source energy. And so you just kind of like jerk and squirt, you kind of short circuit yourself, and then you're tired and fatigued, and then you just don't have that passion or that drive to execute in other ways in the world of pursuing, your pleasures outside of the bedroom, your passions outside the bedroom, and get things accomplished, because you're just kind of continuously wearing down your vital force energy. I don't know that I'll be teaching in Florida soon. I do teach via Skype as well when I do private sessions as well. But I just really invite you to explore that there's a lot more out there than what society allows us to know. Unfortunately, we don't get the right education on these things, and our parents didn't know. And it's some of these practices that I'm sharing with you are over 5,000 years old, and some of the practices actually the kings and the queens would, in Taoist traditions, the kings and the queens, they would use these practices and be more enlightened and to strengthen. So it's kind of like the law of attraction on crack, when you really learn to dive into your full potential sexually. And but they wouldn't let the common people know, because that was a way to keep the other people's society down, and they would keep this power for themselves. So you can really have a lot of self-empowerment and live a life more passionately, more energetically, more, the way you move in the bedroom is kind of the way you move in life. And when you really feel like, hey, you have that confidence, when people glow, they're charismatic, they're not frustrated, their needs are being met, and they feel seen, and they feel pleasure in their bodies. I mean, it shows how they are outside of the bedroom. So again, guys, just check in on my YouTube, and you can also put any comments there. I'll be checking that as well for any questions that you might be having. And thanks again for your time tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to connecting with you guys again next week. And be sure and pop a question in for me, and I will look through all these comments. I just want to say hello to everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Good night. Now I'm having technical difficulties. This is the problem. When you're a Tantra coach, you don't know how to turn off. It's a constant turn on. Bye, everyone.